Welcome. This is Student to Stud. This lecture we're going to cover a topic I get asked about quite frequently by medical students while they're on rotation. So today we're going to cover how to act like an orthopedic student. Here's an outline of what we're going to be talking about. So some things to bring while on rotation, resources that I think you should invest in, what to expect from your rotations, and what it means to be that quote-unquote ideal orthopedic student. So what do you bring? Always good to have a good pen. You never want to be caught in a situation where a resident asks someone for a pen and you're the only one without one to offer. Next is a notebook. Ideally, you want one that is going to fit into your pocket because you want to be able to take notes on things that you were asked about, high yield topics you've covered, and things you're going to go over the next day. Next is a good pair of trauma shears. Trauma shears are always ideal when you're doing dressing changes or taking down splints. A white coat that's ironed, and a pair of good dress clothes that are also ironed. You always want to be dressing to impress. Lastly, scrubs. These will be provided on each of your rotations, so you don't have to really worry about it. But you want to invest in a good pair of comfortable shoes because you're going to be running around on rounds, traumas, you're going to be on your feet quite often, and that's where those compression socks also come in handy. Next, we'll cover some resources that you definitely should invest in. So, first are some basic textbooks. The first book is written by Shaw Shaw, who's a resident at UPMC Pinnacle. The Survivor Series is a great resource to start out with as it gives you a general overview of orthopedics and goes into some specifics that you'll be asked about on your rotation. At the end of the book, there are some sample PIM questions that you might be asked about while on your rotation, so it's a great overview. The next book is Netter's Concise Orthopedic Anatomy. This is an excellent resource to be used to visualize the anatomy, and there's 10 chapters in the book that go over each part of the body. It's definitely a great overview and gives you a great review of your anatomy. It's a great book to read after you finish the Survivor Series, as on an orthopedic audition rotation, you will be asked many questions pertaining to anatomy. Next is Handbook of Fractures, and this is a workhorse of and essential to your success on auditions. It focuses on orthopedic trauma and has all the classifications that you'll be asked about. And lastly is Pocket Pimped. This is a newer one to the market. This book is a great resource as it will test your knowledge and really solidify all of your material that you just covered, and it has nearly any question you may be asked about during your auditions, so highly recommend that one to add it to your repertoire. Next, if you manage to get through all these books and you're looking for another resource, Mailer's Review Orthopedics is an excellent book to use. This is the book that residents use to prepare for their board exam and the OITE, which stands for Orthopedic In Training Examination. The OITE is an examination that each resident takes yearly, so it's a great book that we use and something that you can use if you feel a little bit more advanced. The next book is Surgical Exposures in Orthopedics, the Anatomic Approach. This is an excellent book used prior to surgical procedures because it walks you through anatomy and things to avoid and things to look out for while doing. Next are some online resources. Ortho Bullets, every single orthopedic student should know about this as every ortho resident uses it. It has a great overview of topics for literally anything you can think about orthopedic surgery. AO Surgery Reference, and lastly, White Coat Coaching, the orthopedic residency advice. So, what do you expect on your rotations? When you're on an orthopedic rotation, you'll be expected to attend all education. Each program is a little bit different, so it's important to check the website prior to rotation to get a general sense of the schedule. Some programs have daily education, while others have weekly education. Some programs will involve medical students by asking questions, and others will not. It just really depends on what the rotation entails. It's important to have education scheduled so you can read the night before. Trauma conference will usually consist of trauma cases from the week. Depending on rotations, you should be expected to read x-rays during this time and basic questions on what your initial management would be and what you would do for your definitive management of the fracture. This is where you can stand out by knowing your fracture classifications, initial managements, and definitive treatments. Grand rounds will consist of a faculty member or guest presenting on a specific topic. Journal club, if you're lucky to be invited to one or one that medical students are able to come to, will consist of reviewing several articles that were assigned by residents and by faculty attendings. At the end of each article presentation, a common question that they will ask is whether or not this article will change the physician's practice. Lastly, Some programs will also give medical students the opportunity to get their hands on some sawbones or simulators. So always look out for those and ask about them if you're able to go to various didactics that involve these. Next is the floor. When you're on the floor, make sure to ask the residents to round in the morning. Even if the residents do not want you to round with them in the morning, this question shows initiative and a willingness to help out. Ask whether or not you're expected to pre-round and write notes prior to the resident's arrival. It's important to know the patients as if they were your own. And also, dressing changes are huge. So if you can ask about which patients are going to need those, get materials ready, and you'll be a huge help. In the operating room, make sure you know the cases that you'll be participating in the night prior to, as it is important to prepare for each case. There's one exception where you may not be able to prepare. This would be when you're on the trauma service, as trauma cases are highly unpredictable. To prepare for your cases, focus on the relevant anatomy, the surgical indications, surgical approaches, and common complications. Be ready to answer questions prior to, during, or after the case. Make sure to always be in the room prior to the resident and attending. It's a good idea to offer to text the resident when the patient arrives in the room, as the residents are usually busy prior to surgical cases, and this can help to make their lives a lot easier. Make sure to help out in the operating room. For example, it's your responsibility to take the bed out of the room and bring it back in after the surgical case. Although there are some exceptions at certain hospitals, so make sure to ask the nurse in the room if it's okay if you do that. It's important to help position the patient, but be cautious as you do not want to be in the way of the resident or attending. Just kind of read the room and be able to show initiative, but don't overstep boundaries. It's a skill you learn that with time. As the beginning, you use your best judgment, and over time, you just are able to read the room better and get a better understanding of where you can help and where you may be harming. Additionally, when you enter the operating room, make sure to introduce yourself to the staff, the attending, and write your name on the whiteboard so everyone knows who you are. Some programs will let you take call from home, and some programs will have in-house call. Make sure to ask to take call whenever you can, even if you're not assigned. Call is one of the most valuable opportunities, as you will usually be one-on-one with the resident and you're able to showcase yourself. It's important to know where equipment is, such as casting materials, splinting materials, dressings, and the portable x-ray machine. Your goal as a medical student is to make the resident's life easier. This will go a long way when they're evaluating you to see if you would be a good co-resident. Anytime you can show initiative and willingness to go see a patient, get materials ready beforehand, all of those things can really make a huge difference when on call. Lastly, consults. Know where the materials are and ask the resident if you want to go see the patient prior to them so you can come back and give the story of what's bringing them in. All these little things add up and really will help the resident in the long run. All right, so what is that ideal orthopedic student? It's hard to really say, but here's a couple things that I've noticed that kind of separates one student from another in terms of what makes a good or ideal orthopedic student from one that's maybe lacking in certain areas. Some good qualities are someone that shows up early, they stay late, they're always prepared for cases, and if they weren't prepared the day before, they come back the next day with questions to show that they read up on the material and that they were trying to learn from things that they were lacking in the day before. Showing initiative of going to see consults, getting dressings ready. We want you to be independent. Have good situational self-awareness. Be able to read the room. See where you'll be helpful and see where you'll be harmful. Be humble. Never brag about attendings you know, about what you've done on prior rotations, where you've been, and never talk about other programs in a negative or demeaning way. And lastly, being cooperative. The orthopedic residency is a team environment. Like any sports team, we all have to work together to get to the final goal, whether that's through surgery or getting to the end of the day. So the goal in the end, to make the residents' lives easier, attendings' lives easier, but also don't be overbearing. Kind of, if you have all these little things, I think that really is what makes for an ideal orthopedic student. So I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. If you have any questions, our contact info is at the bottom of the page. So hit us up if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to talk to you. All right, see you next time.